a reason I started playing it again.
All right, we good to go?
Yep.
All right. Greetings and welcome to episode 13 of the Q Podcast, a podcast where a gathering of friends weigh in on geek passion topics. Today is July 13th, 2015. My name is Ben FreeBrunch Thomas. Joining me today is Patrick Clark Kent Figueroa. Yes!
What's going on, man?
I almost forgot mid-sentence, but I got it.
I'll give you that. I was expecting something. I wasn't expecting Clark Kent, but I'll give you
Kudos
that.
on that one.
It's going to be your job to defend Clark Kent. No, I'm just kidding. I'll keep it going. I was trying to think of Batman's real name, too, and I couldn't think of it, too. Because I also forgot to give you a nickname before I started the rigmarole, and I was like, okay, what's Batman's real name? And I couldn't remember. I was like, okay, what's Superman's real name? Bruce Wayne, like, I know that. I've known that for forever. It was just like, it got heated there real quick.
You could have changed it up and called him Diana.
Yeah.
You could have, Diana. Do you know what her last name is? I'll give you $1 if you know what her muggle last name is.
Door.
Her muggle last name. No. Diana Door?
Something that just came to me. It just felt right.
It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
What is it?
It's Prince. Diana Prince.
Also joining us with the limited Diana trivia capability, Christian C. Monkey Elariaga. How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
It's weird. We usually do this like in the daylight. It's nice
All right.
and like you're usually like the sun's
Super illuminated.
the sun's gift to us. That's all good. Okay. Well, did you have a good week, guys?
Yeah. It's been a very exciting week.
Got some news to talk about.
Yeah.
News to talk about.
You, I think you took a trip, right, Patrick? You went.
I had family come in.
But did you go to NOLA?
I did go to NOLA.
Okay.
It was. Ben? You've been to the French Quarter.
Yeah, two times now. Yeah.
A couple of times. Yeah, it's a shithole. So.
It's excess.
It smells like trash.
Yes.
Girls twerking and strippers in the streets.
Yep.
And this was at 3:00 in the afternoon. I don't even want to know what it's like.
Just like New York?
Vegas. Oh. It's like the Vegas of the Southeast. Okay. I've only been there during New Year's, so I didn't even think about it, like how hot it is from the sun. Because I was like, the smell, I don't really remember a smell, but when it's like 35 degrees or like 45 degrees, you're not going to get that like steaming trash going on the pavement. But yeah,
piss.
You probably
trash and piss
and piss. No, it's a dirty city, but it's a fun city. Like they have like culture there.
It is. It is. I mean, it looks so like it's been depicted in the movies. It was like unreal.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a set, right? This is a movie set. Like buildings don't actually look like this, but it really does look and feel like it is shown in the movies, which is really cool. Like
the time that I spent there, I was like, oh, this city has a personality, whereas Atlanta is a little bit like it's a city you want to live in. It's just a city.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. French Quarter is very cool. It's cool, and it left a very lasting impression for me.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who doesn't really participate in nightlife, I don't know if I'd really appreciate it to its fullest. Because I mean, my sisters told me like, yeah, you don't really care about everything else when it's 1:00 and everyone's having a crazy, ridiculous time.
The key is people watching. Like
people watching.
I'm not like a huge nightlife guy either, but when I was walking the streets of like the French Quarter or Bourbon Street. You just like you just see things and you're just like, oh shit.
I know, dude. Like I was seeing things at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like at night when the cover of darkness. Good God.
The cover of darkness. Open container law for the win.
Exactly.
Other than perusing the cover of darkness, did you play or watch anything this week?
I played a lot, and I kind of stuck with the indie scene after Batman.
Nice.
I played Don't Starve.
Very cool.
It's like a survival game where you're just supposed to eat. It's got a very cool artistic style. I got back into my early access game. The only early access game I've ever gotten is Starbound.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it still in early access?
Still in early access.
That's such a weird system.
Yeah, it's been like...
Is it really still in early access?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I thought it went into beta.
There's a difference?
It could be beta and still in early access.
I thought early access was before development was. Well,
Yeah, so beta's still.
beta's still. I don't know what you would consider early access. I don't know the difference is, but I feel like they use that term specifically for, or maybe it's post beta but not actually released yet, which is why it's early access.
Post beta late access or early post beta super early access. I don't know.
Action.
You could name it. Basically, the game's not done.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been a little thirsty for like kind of Minecraft Terraria type of game, and Minecraft hasn't really updated in a while. So I got back into Starbound, and a lot has changed since I last played it. But you know, it's just ultimately the same thing. And then the game I'm really excited that I'm playing is Skullgirls Second Encore. I got it on PlayStation 3 a couple years ago. I didn't super get into it then, but I really fell in love with the art style. And with Second Encore, I bought it again to really start to try to get into the fighting scene. And the it's really hard.
Is it standalone, the Encore?
Yes.
Or is it an expansion? Okay,
Standalone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's like a crowdfunding success story, right?
Yeah, it is. It definitely surprised a lot of people because they like just requested like, hey, help us fund one DLC character, and they got enough funding to fund like 5 or 6.
Nice.
So it's been a good time, and I'm slowly learning the very ridiculous and super complex. Like I used to play Injustice. That is not a very complex fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Skullgirls is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And it's like just got such a super colorful cast.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching that game. That game was nuts. I know Injustice, was kind of shunned by the esports scene, but Skullgirls has a pretty good reputation.
I think Skullgirls is in Evo now, which is like the fighting game Super Bowl, I guess.
Yep. Nice. Are you playing online?
Haven't started yet. I'm still in the tutorials, like learning combos and like how you're supposed to react and stuff. It has a very good tutorial system, which I think applies to a lot of other fighting games. But and I'm still like crushing the story to like get all the trophies, and then I really do the story.
There could be a story actually. I shouldn't assume that there's not.
No, there is a story.
Okay.
It's fun, and because it's like I said, I got it for the art, and the story has a lot of just like beautiful art stills. So
very cool.
What about you, Ben? What have you been working on?
I played the game that is taking the internet by storm for like 5 hours. Rocket League. It's a game where you're driving cars in an indoor soccer arena, and you can do 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4. And you're like trying to punch this ball that's like 3 times the size of your car into the opposing net. And it is like the tightest I've clenched a controller and like the most I've sweat playing a game since like Super Smash Bros. On the N64. It is so much fun. It is so beautiful. It is so simple. And like it's the ultimate party game. Like I played it just by myself when it was free on PlayStation on Saturday. And then Saturday night, I was hanging out with the people that are like heavy kind of PC gaming, and they'd been watching it on Twitch because it was like the #2 game on Twitch, and they went out and bought a PlayStation 4 and 4 controllers just to play Rocket League.
You can play it with split screen?
Yeah, 4 people split screen.
Wow, that's really cool.
So we did
I mean, talk about a throwback when we're hyping up a feature that's making a comeback.
Yes, it's the vinyl of video games.
Split screen, what is that?
We had like 2v2 going on one TV for like late into the night. It was a lot of trash talking. It's just like a really it's a great game because usually party games are really simple. Like I think like Mario Party, like Mario Kart, like trivia games. Like those are the reasons why like the Mario games are timeless because they're super accessible. And everyone can play them and have fun. This game is like for hardcore gamers because it is so difficult. Like the nuances of jumping and kicking the ball and like flipping your car and timing your boosts. Right. It has like a really high and rewarding skill cap, but it's like simple enough that like it can be executed like in a split screen environment, and it was so much fun. I'm gonna keep playing that game.
I've seen some super ridiculous saves.
Yeah.
Like videos.
I need
it's pretty crazy.
I need to get in on it. I played the beta a couple months ago, and I probably played for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I probably touched the ball like twice.
It's so hard.
It's so hard because
Yeah.
it's like, do you follow the ball or do you like lead? And there's like the two different cameras you're working with, like free camera and then like follow the ball camera. And I don't know. I'm excited to get into it too.
Always follow the ball.
Always
yeah,
follow
I
the
just
ball.
leave it locked on that camera.
Yeah.
It was cool though because I played it a lot before I watched it, which I rarely do because usually you kind of like you'll see something and it'll make you want to play a game. But I was watching Lyric, who's like the #1 streamer on Twitch, play it today. And I was like, I didn't even know you could do things in that game. I was like, it's so simple. How did I miss all these little tricks? And those saves that you're seeing on Reddit they're so crazy. Like the timing, just the timing alone. But then the flips that they're doing is nuts.
Yeah.
So I loved it. It was a nice break from Bloodborne and League. Bloodborne is like breaking my patience right now because Kent keeps dying.
It's all Kent's fault.
I mean, he just has this like high risk. He just gets one shotted where it would take like half of my health if it happened. So
high risk, high reward.
Yeah. So that's our friend that's trying to help me platinum Bloodborne, and he's so good that it's hurting him at this point.
Yeah.
Is he running through it with like scrubby gear and then trying to be?
Yeah. He's just doing like weird builds. Like he's just for the fun of it.
He's at the stage where. Yeah, it's like his third or fourth character, and he's in troll mode.
Yeah, and I need him to help me. But anywho, how about you, Christian?
Work, lots of work, and then Five Nights at Freddy's.
Whoa, you played Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes,
dude.
They just released a trailer for number 4.
Number 4, which is ridiculous to me because we're already on number 4, and it hasn't even really been a year.
Yeah.
I don't think since the initial release of Five Nights at Freddy's. So their iteration is pretty fast.
It's one guy too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But I mean, it's really cool to see because you can tell from the first game to the 4th how ridiculously amazing his skill has just absolutely skyrocketed.
Really? Because I only played the first one.
Yeah, if you go from the first one all the way up to the 3rd, you can tell that he's gotten almost exponentially better at doing the things he does within these games because it's pretty crazy.
I'm sure he got so much money from the first game. I bet he's been able to kind of get some new software and help as well.
I
always had to make sure that I played that game like by myself.
And there you go.
That's the first time that's ever happened. I always had to play that game by myself because I would be playing in public or playing like I remember like my girlfriend was on the couch and I was just like I would just scream like I'd just be like because usually you think when someone's staring intently at their phone they're playing like Bejeweled or texting someone and I would just be like oh and that's like when I knew that I had to play that game by myself and then I was playing it by myself and I was too much of a bitch to continue because it is all about those jump scares.
What gets me is that it's still like from the 1st to the 3rd, I assumed that the jump scares would stop getting to me. But just because of the way his style has improved from game to game, it still freaks me the hell out.
That's so good. That's why that game went viral, is those jump scares are, like, so good. And I only played the first one, so I'm sure it's... do you play it on computer or iPhone?
Computer.
Okay. I played it on my iPhone, but I would play it with like headphones.
Yeah.
And that was when I would have to take off the headphones because that was too immersive, way too immersive.
This scary point of scary.
Yeah. Shit, our news is depressing this week.
Yeah, news is very sad. Ugh.
Well, it's like half depressing and half of it's just really intriguing.
Yeah.
I think that well, we should stop being so cryptic.
Yeah.
Let's start with the depressing. So, I had never heard of this guy before, which is kind of sad. I never heard. It's like someone who follows as much games media as I do. Nintendo president. Correct me. I'm probably gonna butcher this pronunciation, but Satoru Iwata.
You're good.
Okay, Satoru Iwata passed away at the age of 55. I understand he's been the president of Nintendo for 10 plus years now. In 1993, he became their president. So 22 years.
1993.
I mean, that's the year after we were born.
That's when they first started delving into video games, I want to say.
When you were 1 year old.
The man is a wizard. Just to put things into perspective for our users, like one of the Pokemon games that was released way back when, Gold and Silver, that pair of games,
I love those.
Originally only had enough space to hold one region of the Pokemon world. Now, Ian, I know you remember this. Gold and Silver was the one where you actually were able to have Kanto and Johto in the same game.
Right. Like when you beat the Elite Four or whatever, it exposed a whole new world you could explore.
So originally, Johto took up the entirety of the game. Iwata single-handedly compressed all of the information down to half the size so that they could fit the other region.
So
what a boss.
A wizard programmer. You don't hear about like wizard programmers like becoming presidents of their respective companies.
No, I mean no disrespect. Who is Shigeru Miyamoto?
What is his
role?
Mario.
Okay, that's all he is. Because I know.
Well, I mean, he does Mario, Star Fox. I mean, he's a developer for them.
Right. He's often like I see him as I mean, I've seen Iwata as well, but I if you honestly ask me, I would have considered Miyamoto the president or CEO just as much as I would have affiliated Iwata or even Reggie, if I'm being honest.
I think
I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Phil Zame?
Phil Zame, yeah.
Yeah, I think Miyamoto. So I misspoke. So he was the president of HAL Laboratory in 1993. He became
Kirby.
Oh, is that what Kirby's from?
That's Kirby and Smash Bros.
Oh, so he became part of Nintendo in 2000 and took over as president in 2002. But yeah, apparently he's been in poor health for a long time, and he was young. He was 55.
Yeah, really young, super young.
I don't think that he will be kind of forgotten.
Well, the one thing that someone really actually just kind of nailed me with yesterday was that it sucks that the last thing he heard from Nintendo fans was how terrible their E3 showing was.
I think he apologized for it.
Yeah, he definitely came out with some PR saying, we're going to fix it.
Oh, he shouldn't have had to do that.
You shouldn't have had to say that.
Like, if people, like,
now I'm sad.
People should have trusted the brand. Like, a lot of the people who watched that conference kind of understood that this is like a retooling time for Nintendo, and they're dedicating most of their resources to their next project, the NXT. So, I mean, if people would kind of have a little faith for a brand that like has been with us since our childhood, then I mean, I'm sure a lot of people did. Obviously, the internet is like a lot of trolls and vocal minority. I mean, I probably like raged against it last week. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone will remember that in even a week's time. Everyone will just remember his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true.
So, and then our next piece of news, Ellen. I don't know if this is just like the ultimate piece of geek news because it's not really relevant to anything.
Not.
I mean, it really isn't.
Like Ellen Powell left.
Chairman Powell.
Ellen Powell resigned from Reddit. I don't remember if we talked about the Reddit debacle.
We didn't. We decided to skip it because it was
dirty,
tabloid. It was just tabloid news.
So politically charged.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all of us are probably power Reddit users, whether it be comic books, whether it be building a PC, whether it be the latest and greatest in League LCS. So she was not forced out, but she got a lot of hate from the community.
She just stepped down.
Yeah,
I believe.
I mean, the board asked her to like step down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really, like, my takeaway from this isn't so much, like, her leaving Reddit, but it's the way that Reddit was, I thought it was interesting the way that Reddit was represented, because this was on the cover of USA Today. I mean, I sent you guys that picture. That was how I found out about it, was the front of the USA Today app.
Right.
And, like, Reddit just has this, like, kind of weird reputation in terms of, like, a bunch of, like, teenage boys, like, looking at cat pictures and, like, eating Hot Pockets.
And all the dank memes.
And then throwing swastikas and calling people Hitler and Chairman Mao when they're upset.
Yeah.
That was the ugly side that was shown.
It's weird because I feel like Reddit represents a lot of really positive things the internet could do. because a lot of places can't reciprocate kind of the collaboration and the freedom that Reddit provides. I mean, it may be Twitter, but I feel like I wish that more people could take advantage of something like Reddit or a system that facilitates sharing and like upvoting amazing information. But I feel like it's kind of commandeered by some.
What was the straw
people.
that broke the camel's back, though?
It was
the moderator stuff.
Yeah,
like that stuff was actually just the lack of correspondence with the users.
Oh, right. When she went to talk to all of like the news sites first before actually talking to the users,
telling the moderators, the people that actually like run Reddit had no idea what was going on, and
I believe it was because they fired an admin, one of the admins who was doing AMAs.
Correct. Without kind of any warning that she was going to be fired, so they had no time to prepare. She just did not have a working relationship with the people that ran the site. Mm-hmm. But I just think about like my dad likes to garden, and I can't imagine for everything that Reddit has taught me about building PCs or personal finance or anything like tips for all these aspects of my life, whether it be do it yourself or like online dating. Like there's people out there that could do like a lot of their interests could be really enhanced by something like this, and I don't think there's any Reddit competitors out there. But I hope that like
BuzzFeed. I'm kidding. I didn't mean to derail you.
Oh shit! I just want that system. Like I want Reddit's like upvoting, like quick access to different parts of the internet to be copied. Like I want other sites to use that, because I mean Reddit was the first thing that let us find things quickly. Yeah. I mean this isn't really like pop culture game related. It's just such a big part of our lives that.
Maybe it's the first one that grew so big, because I'm fairly certain Dig was kind of the same until Dig
was similar.
died.
Oh, yeah. I think I have heard Dig died, that phrase before.
I mean,
I've never heard of Dig.
What I take from Reddit is it does filter out. What I love about Reddit is that it filters out the bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no corporate, like, with IGN, like there's guys running the site.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's promos on it. There's pretty women with their videos for like, hey, click me. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's that on Reddit, but it's normally filtered based on content, not because IGN hired this woman.
The agenda is the community's agenda.
Exactly.
There's no, corporate
that's also
agenda.
A little debatable, though, because it also depends on the moderators of whatever subreddit you're in. Because some of them are given things by whoever they're representing on that subreddit order for them to shill for that company.
It's true though, but like those subreddits are policed by the community. Like I remember a subreddit will go bad and then people will just create a whole new subreddit because they didn't like the way that one was running. Like there's probably like 20 different game subreddits because people have different opinions on what type of games coverage should take place.
Right. Especially because our gaming gets so polluted sometimes.
Yeah, it's just too much.
But I love our gaming.
Oh, it's great. It gets polluted.
I know.
It's kind of like sensory overload.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's our news this week.
All right.
One
fun
sad,
stuff.
one bizarre.
Let's get on to the fun stuff.
What
Ian
happened?
looks like he's about to explode.
What happened this week, Patrick? Did anything happen?
I don't think anything happened, Ben.
No news. No other news. I guess our topic is kind of news related. We got Comic-Con? Is that what happened?
Can you guys just let me off the leash already, or are you gonna jerk me around for another 5 more minutes?
I just want to let it out slowly so that you don't throw your table over or anything.
Oh, I'm gonna hyperventilate and I'm gonna watch the tape later, and it's gonna be like, dude, just calm down. But my heart rate is starting to go up as we're about to start talking about it.
All right. So what's your topic?
Are you sure you don't want to watch it one more time?
You're right. No, I'm kidding. So my topic, I called it a very merry DC Comic-Con because Comic-Con was this weekend.
Wait, I think Marvel was there too, Patrick.
Marvel was there, but not Marvel Studios.
Oh yeah, I actually feel stupid saying that because we actually did acknowledge that they were not going there. I was like, I was trying to call out bias, but there actually was no bias there.
Yeah, they didn't have any big thing. this year. I mean, they had some like TV stuff like Agents of Shield and I think Agent Peggy Carter, but come on.
Deadpool.
Well, that was Fox. Like, so Fox had a little bit of a showing with Deadpool and Fantastic Four. The Deadpool trailer did show, and like, there's a leaked version online. Have you guys seen that?
No, but I really want to because I heard that Deadpool is dark and rated R, and that is what I'm all about.
Yeah.
The trailer, as unfortunately, like, I mean, I don't know, Christian. Do you feel dirty for watching leaked trailers like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
I couldn't even watch the Suicide Squad trailer. I was so upset. I was like, I can't even like tell what the hell is going on. I'm just not gonna watch this.
Yeah. No, and I maybe don't watch Deadpool because Deadpool the trailer looked really good, and I feel like I wasted because it has a lot of good like one-liner moments that are squandered by shitty audio in a slanted screen. So like now I don't get like, you know, the refreshingness of watching the trailer for the first time.
Right,
and
I thought about that, and there was one line in particular that I wish I would have heard with the full HD quality of the video, which is Ryan Reynolds coming out and
saying... Ben hasn't seen
it. Oh yeah, don't say that.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't ruin it for him, you're doing the same thing.
Well,
right.
I
don't know why I thought he'd sign it. Right.
I had watched a different trailer, which I guess we should talk about. Batman vs. Superman. Maybe I should go first because I don't want to like downplay the stupid.
Go ahead.
All right, so I took some notes.
You took notes.
Is it like an actual notepad?
No, it's a where I take all my notes in the iPhone Note app. Okay, it was really polished. It was a really polished trailer. Like they're putting a lot of money. I mean, everyone knows that. I just really liked the I don't know who the narrator was. Was that significant? Was it just a random like beautiful cool voice?
I mean, it was several people. Holly Hunter had some lines. Mama Kent had some lines. Jesse Eisenberg had some lines.
It was at the very beginning. The speech at the very beginning, I think, was Holly Hunter, and
Holly Hunter.
I really liked that. Really polished. I actually found. Well, obviously, I've been disgusted by Ben Affleck as Batman.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it because of that one particular thing. Like everything else was spot on for me, and then you have Batman without the suit.
It's just like I just look at Ben Affleck's face and I'm just like, that's fucking Ben Affleck. Like that's not Batman.
He just doesn't feel like a Batman to me.
And then I really liked, like I don't know, I really liked all the Superman stuff, which is weird because I don't like Superman. Like I really liked the way they framed his like I really like. I don't know why I was rooting for Superman, but I wanted him to just like pummel Batman because I was like, angry that Batman was like Ben Affleck. I thought Lex Luthor was interesting. Like that's not what I imagined Lex Luthor as, but it's
a very interesting take, right?
Yeah, so, I didn't dislike it.
The one thing I wish they would have kept maybe behind closed doors was the kryptonite reveal.
Yeah,
I didn't even catch that reveal. I didn't even know what you guys.
It's a green rock. Let's be honest. There's not much else it could have been.
Right.
It wasn't explicitly said, but it was a green rock.
It's quite obviously kryptonite.
I don't think I saw the green rock, but
right. He stares at it, and you're obviously just like, well, now I know what that is.
Yeah.
Unless it's a red herring.
Is Aquaman making an appearance in this movie?
He is. He wasn't in the trailer, but he is.
Because that's the other thing is like watching this trailer, and they like dissected so many like themes that they wanted to be in that movie that they were trying to represent in the trailer, and then they're throwing in Wonder Woman and Lex Luthor, and I hear that Aquaman's gonna be in it. Like I really want this movie to be 3 hours because I think that if they try to like bridge it to anything less than
no way.
Yeah, it's just gonna feel rushed. I'm not gonna get the time to get attached.
It's not gonna be an origin story though, right? We're not gonna see the beginnings of Wonder Woman, right? It's just gonna be.
And we're gonna talk a little general. And this is something we can generate conversation with. It seems that DC's cinematic universe is taking the opposite approach to Marvel's cinematic universe. Marvel Cinematic started out with origin stories, right? Mm-hmm. DC, other than Man of Steel, but I mean, based on Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, they're not going origin stories. They're going the opposite funnel. They're doing big first, and then they're gonna go towards like middle original stories. Meanwhile, Marvel started individual stories and made, to the Avengers. But Jason Momoa and Cyborg, they're supposed to have cameos. in this movie. They're not supposed to have full-fledged roles. You're just
Wait,
supposed to see
Cyborg
them.
too?
Cyborg or Vic Stone. We don't know if he's Cyborg yet, but he's supposed to be in there as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ezra Miller or Green Lantern showed up. I don't know. But anyways, anything else, Ben?
No, I'd probably just gonna react to
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
you have to say about it.
So you want me to go? Or-
Yeah, I'm ready. My body's
Okay,
ready.
so, alright. I thought, first and foremost, the first thing that really caught my eyes were, because, like, we knew a lot of the basis was Superman atoning for what happened in Metropolis. Half of the city was destroyed. The public opinion is shaky. But the first thing that really caught my eye was how badass Ben Affleck was running into the destruction versus everyone was running out. I thought that was like super cool. And him watching the Metropolis fight unfold in front of his eyes, I thought that was like a really good... It really set a precedence, even if it's just in the trailer, of like, you know, okay, Superman, there's trouble here. There's trouble here. We have to understand that. And then his following monologue was with 20 years in Gotham, how many good people stayed that way? He's super, super, super hesitant on this Superman character. And as you can tell, Lex Luthor is too. And something I really like about this movie is you're contrasting two different people who are skeptical of the Superman character, Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne, who are actually very similar character-wise. They're hyper brilliant, a lot of money, and they, you know, willing to do anything to get what they want. It's just going to be really interesting throughout the movie, like these two different ideals that are similar, reacting to, you know, the Man of Steel. And it looks like Lex is pitting the two against each other. You know, day versus night, black versus blue, all that good stuff. That was for me. That was like some of the cool stuff that I got when I watched it for the first time. What do you guys think about that? As I catch my breath,
Does Lex have like an accomplice or anything? Like, I've seen the original. Oh gosh, Chris. Who's the original?
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves. I've seen those original Batman. I've seen oh gosh, who played Lex Luthor?
Kevin Spacey
No,
or Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman. I've seen the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor. I can't really remember how he's so... Does he have, like, henchmen like the Joker, or is he just, like, a businessman, or...
He's manipulative.
He's just
He's a
manipulative?
manipulative businessman.
Is
Yes.
he a
Right.
political figure? Like, he's not, like, in the shadows?
Absolutely political.
Right. At any
Up
one point in
front.
time, he could be any of those, right?
Yeah. His
Okay.
character interpretation has always been a very public, favorable figure who his schemes have ultimately, like, underneath everything was like a plot to take down Superman.
Yeah.
Or that's how he's done in the past. And
Yeah.
Now, is that one of those weird situations where he's not actually the bad guy? Because I don't know too much about Lex Luthor, but it's one of those things where he believes he's doing it for the greater good? Question mark.
he's almost like a human supremacist, or he can be interpreted as a human supremacist. He, at least in some of the comic books and other obviously there's multiple interpretations, like interpretations of Batman, but some of my favorite interpretation of Lex Luthor, and I'm hoping this is the approach they take, is that he's a human supremacist, and he doesn't like this idea of this god coming down from, you know, the sky and having such an impact on humanity, and he legitimately believes that it's bad for humanity itself, this figure of, you know, that everyone is hailing. It could be because of his ego, or just because, you know, he truly believes that the good of humanity should be left in humanity's hands and not freaks and superpowered beings.
Superman's so nice, though.
And that's like what's so great is like, in right now, Superman's been outed as Clark Kent in like the comics, and like Lex Luthor like went up to Clark Kent. He's like, I don't fucking believe you're Superman. You're just some nerd from, you know, the middle of fucking nowhere, USA.
We
You're
had
not
something
Superman. I don't
similar
believe this shit.
in the trailer, right? Or did I dream? There was kind of a scene where he was like, you're something We did have him as Clark Kent, though, right? At some point in the
That
trailer.
was with
Yeah, we did.
That was
We
with
had him.
Lawrence Fishburne.
They showed him in the office. Yeah.
Right. And they were saying something similar to how he doesn't have, or you're not Superman. How would you?
Yeah, you're just Clark Kent. You can't take on the
And
Batman.
that absolutely slays me because sure it works in the comics, but Jesus Christ, glasses. It's not that hard to tell.
Right, like
Oh, I see.
that one
The
is pretty
disguise.
bad. Like with from what I remember of the Christopher Reeves one, his Clark Kent was like hunched over. The
Yeah.
glasses were super nerdy, and like he was
His hair was
very
different.
believable. Yeah, he was very believably not like an attractive person.
Mhm.
Right.
Fuck Henry Cavill. I got a man crush on him, dude.
Dude,
This
he looked-
just looks.
He looked good.
Oh my
he
god!
Looked, he looked
how does he
good.
not smash.
I was like watching. They like did this pan like over the Superman on his chest, and I was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Jesus.
that's kind of stirring."
God.
It was like I like really liked him in this trailer. Maybe it's because I like that everyone's not all about Superman. Like I think that Superman versus the world is kind of believable because that's just in my mind what it takes to stop like Superman.
Mhm.
So I think that story might gel a little bit more with me. I'm interested to see if they gonna go more narrative or more action based. It's hard to tell from a trailer because they're obviously going to show a lot of the explosions. Because I hope they bring something different to the table than the Avengers was. Just because it's not going to have the same type of impact if they follow along the same lines as opposed to if they do something different. I do think that having less characters and more iconic characters, they have the ability to do something really cool.
Right.
Watching it, honestly, it looked like another superhero movie to me. So,
Yeah.
and I did not like Man of Steel, which Zack Snyder did Man of Steel. I don't know. But like the world is watching this movie. I feel
Yeah.
like the stakes are unusually high for like just comic book fans are holding their breath. DC fans are holding their breath. Like
Absolutely.
everyone's talking about how they're going to see it no matter what. So it's impossible not to kind of feel that energy. So that's why I mean I'm definitely going to see this quickly.
Right.
This is their first time really going toe to toe with Marvel Studios.
Yeah, they're going
This
hard.
is not even, they're not toe to toe yet. This is their chance to get the
To go
shot
toe-
to go
right.
toe to toe.
Yeah.
Because, like, if this movie doesn't do well, I mean, they announced a lot of stuff, but, like, I don't know if that's going to hold. I mean, it's going to do well, but, like...
They announced both Marvel and DC announced way too much
Yeah.
stuff. It's a little bit
Right,
silly.
but I mean, it's kind of one of those things because Marvel had all that stuff in the pipeline since Avengers 1, I want to say, or maybe before that. So to me, it's not really like Marvel's just kind of being Marvel, whereas DC's got a lot to live up to, I guess is the way I want to put that,
Right.
because
you-
they've got such a massive following, and you have a lot of fans who are like, finally this is on the big screen, it's not going to be a television series, it's going to be the characters we want to see, and it looks so far absolutely amazing.
It does.
So,
It looks gorgeous. Are you? What are your thoughts on Ben Affleck, Patrick?
I mean, Bruce Wayne is supposed to be ridiculously good looking, and that is what Ben Affleck is.
I thought his hair looked stupid. He had like this mop.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Bale had the same, like, gelled back look, though, I thought.
Yeah, but Christian Bale had those like wild eyes that like made it work.
Yeah.
He had the crazy eyes going.
Yeah.
is this based off of any particular storyline in the DC universe? Because I know they've clashed quite a bit.
We talked about it's like based on The Dark Knight Returns,
Right.
which is an excellent animated movie if you guys want to watch that, and you can see the history of his super suit that's featured in the trailer so much.
So how old is Batman supposed to be in this?
In Dark Knight, in this movie, it's
Batman
it's hard to tell. There's a one line in the trailer that says 20 years in Gotham, how many good men have stayed that way. So you can interpret that as he's been Batman for 20 years, which is a little ridiculous.
He's gonna be older Bat.
Right.
I mean, which that makes sense because Ben Affleck is old.
He looks older. He does look older. Like you can see the gray in his hair.
I mean, I think Ben Affleck is like in his 40s.
So speculation question
It's
mark,
like
I guess.
40, 45. He's supposed to be an experienced Batman, like an old, as if like he's retired. Like you saw the Wayne Manor, it was like covered in weeds, you know.
Yeah.
And it looks like he was like returning as Batman. He like unfurled the bat symbol.
Everything looked a little dusty in the Batcave.
Right, everything looked dusty, and he looked like in all of the shots he looked reflective of everything he was saying. Like, all right, I got to do all this shit again. I got to deal with this shit. But watch the movie with the idea that Batman and Superman are supposed to be friends, like
Super
really
friends.
cool friends.
Super friends.
Wait,
Super friends.
is that a joke?
No, it's not. They're like best friends in the books.
But there was actually a Super Friends.
Yeah, I mean they disagree a lot, and which is the contrast is what makes them so magnetic. You know, Gotham City is an absolute shithole. It's dark. Metropolis is a fucking golden city, and the way they rule their cities is like backwards almost. But like it works. Like the contrast is so magnetic, and it's fun to read them interact.
Because it's like
with
Boy
each other.
Scout versus
Boy Scout versus
War Veteran.
Grizzled old man, and
I would love to see
Right.
some banter like, dude, my city is way better than your city.
yeah. I mean,
That
there's a
would be
lot
funny.
of like in the stories. It's just fun. Like in monologues, they say like sometimes Bruce asks me to watch over Gotham. Sometimes, or it's like sometimes Clark asks me to watch over Metropolis, and he just like comments on how everything's always polished. Like he can't grapple through buildings because everything's round. And,
So,
and then Superman complains in Gotham like this whole city's made of lead. I can't see anything. So it's just like fun stuff like that, and you know,
I forgot
when
about that. That was the one thing with the X-ray vision.
Right. I mean, when you watch Batman v Superman, you're supposed to know these guys are like supposed to be best friends, and seeing them like really mad at each other is fun.
it sounds kind of like, so they're gonna, I don't want to be
Although
down.
that kind of banter, I'd expect more out of a crossover on CW with the Flash and Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just like word for word, the banter itself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like Clark and Bruce don't really banter.
It kind of
That
sounds
much.
like they're gonna realize that Lex Luthor's their like common enemy at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was like
Yeah.
the first.
I just want to see where the hell Wonder Woman comes out of. Like
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Aquaman. Like, where's Aquaman gonna come from?
left field.
It's supposed to be. Zack Snyder said Wonder Woman's presence is supposed to be like a drug to the rest of, like a gateway drug to the rest of the Justice League. So I think her presence is going to be like, there's way more shit at hand, you two. Stop fucking fighting and acting like children, which she does in the comic books a lot. So we're all hoping that that's what she does.
That's
She
a
just,
really
like, pulls the two by the coats and like,
That's
stop
a really.
fighting.
I like that metaphor. The gateway drug to the rest of the Justice League.
I really want to see them redeem Green Lantern.
Oh, I don't even want to see Green Lantern ever again.
Because out of all the DC universe, I think Green Lantern, or the Lantern Corps in general, seem to be my favorite, like, lore and just storyline.
One thing I'll say about what DC didn't live up to was they didn't really announce anything like pertinent to the rest of their plan. Like they didn't show anything about the Flash, Green Lantern, or Cyborg. They announced the Green Lantern movie to be released in 2020.
Is it still Ryan Reynolds?
Or no, or we don't know who it is. That's the
Gotcha.
thing. Tyrese Gibson, Chris Pine might be up for it. There's a lot of speculation.
Chris
but
Pine is like as close to a Ryan Reynolds clone as I've ever
know,
like.
right.
Like I literally thought about him and I thought about Ryan Reynolds' face.
yeah,
That's kind of funny.
I wonder if they're going to do that since he's also now Deadpool.
that's
Is
Chris.
he Deadpool? Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
I hope
He's
okay.
played for both teams.
I
He's
really
fighting himself.
Well, before we get to Deadpool, let's move to the movie that is the reason why I think DC is trying to do something different, because that trailer was not like anything I've seen before. Suicide
Right.
Squad was
Pretty
it was
abstract.
fantastic.
It was cryptic and ridiculously scary.
I
In
want
terms of just like the framing of everything.
I want a superhero movie that's not a superhero movie, and this is the
Yeah.
closest like I'm gonna get. Like I loved Harley Quinn like hanging in the cage. I loved everything about that trailer except for fucking Will Smith.
I
Oh no!
Fuck!
I know.
Ah! You guys said
and
he was
the
gonna
thing
have
that
a mask.
killed me
You said he
was
would
the-
have a
He has
mask.
He had a mask.
I didn't
did-
see a
he did
mask
have a
that
mask.
whole trailer.
He had it on at one
He
point.
had
or
a
another.
mask. It was like a white mask.
It was when he was falling off a building.
I
or
saw
something
a
like that.
lot of Will Smith's mug. His pretty mug that I didn't want in my Suicide Squad movie.
What killed me was the "Let's save the world" line.
Let's go save the world.
They got him in there because like millions of people are gonna see that just because he's fucking Will Smith. But why does things have to be about money? Why do they? Why why do people want to actually pay for the things that they work on? Just
Who is he supposed to be in there? Deadshot?
Yeah.
Now, okay, in defense of like the rest of the movie, I think him signing on to this movie is like a big thing for. I know he's like supposed to be a big face of this movie, but he's really not. I know they made him seem that way in the trailer, but like I don't see anyone on Suicide Squad like getting another movie except maybe Jared Leto and maybe Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Just because like the whole premise of Suicide Squad is like all these people are gonna die. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to. And so, like, these people aren't going to get multiple sequels. These people, especially, like, they're not going to have Deadshot in a Batman movie.
You really think they're gonna kill everyone though?
That's the point of the Suicide
That's
Squad.
the point of Suicide Squad.
Gosh,
Their entire point is to die.
See, if
whole
you guys
point is
hadn't said that
die.
though, like as a casual movie watcher, I would not expect them all to die.
Well, there's a reason it's called the Suicide Squad.
I
Sorry.
mean, it makes sense now.
I mean, we didn't mean to spoil it like that because I still don't know, but like,
I mean,
you would have read an
chances
article
are-
down the road.
you don't
that-
really spoil it because you don't know they're all gonna. I mean,
That's true.
I haven't read the comics, but I would be like, that is a really morbid movie if they all die. So I would like, even though that might be what's supposed to happen, I would still be excited to see if it does happen.
Well, a lot of people are speculating too that there are going to be tie-ins between Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she mentioned it in the trailer. He's like, maybe it's the Superman who's bringing out all the freaks. Like Superman showing his head. It's all supposed to be tied. And you saw Ben Affleck in the trailer. Or
Yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
in the trailer.
On
On
like
the
a car
car?
or something.
So it's like, it's tied together.
But this is also where I was asking you this before we started recording, Ian, about the Robin suit
What about it?
with the yellow paint on it.
That was in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, so timeline-wise, does Suicide Squad take place before or after? Or are we going to see that particular part of it?
Christian,
That's
that is
what I
a good
wanna know.
fucking question. I honestly have no fucking idea. That's a really good question, though, because, like, this could be Batman in his prime. Well, no, but Viola Davis did say Superman coming out. So... And
Has
we're
to take
supposed to
place-
assume the reason why Joker has all those... We can talk about Joker right after this. How he has all those teeth fillings is because Batman beat the shit out of him several times.
That's
So,
cool. I like that.
I guess I'm just curious because we don't see anything about Robin, and I keep tying it back to it because, like, has there ever been a storyline where, and there obviously has to be, where Robin gets killed by the Joker?
Yeah. Yeah. The second one did.
Okay.
The second Robin did. When we tie it back to Dark Knight Returns, that animated movie I was telling you about, like Batman quote retires because he got one of his Robins killed. And remember, Robins are like 13-year-old kids. So it broke Bruce up pretty badly when Joker beat the shit out of him with a crowbar. So he retired.
This is making me want to read some comics. This sounds or watch animated like,
Mhm.
oh, that sounds so dark.
Yeah.
Like Suicide Squad to me is kind of the epitome of why like comics movies are so big right now, is because comics just, they have the most interesting characters. Like they just
Right.
have like the imagination that you can draw things with has just created these wild ideas that like live action has not been able to come up with. Like Suicide Squad is so wild and so different. Like just the premise, like you guys said, it's crazy.
The premise is 2-bit villains from like around the superhero universes, like getting the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know, villains that aren't even like the big Joker or Reverse Flash. Like these are like side guys that take 1 or 2 panels, you know?
Yeah.
And they get the spotlight finally. And they're disgusting. They're gross. Right. They have personalities though. That's what's cool.
Yeah, I love rooting for the bad guys. It's
and they're so
favorite.
fleshed out.
Yeah.
Like we did see a little bit of what I assumed to be the Harley Quinn origin.
We did.
In there.
We did.
Gosh, you guys picked up on so much more than I did.
Yeah. But let's talk about Jared Leto, guys. What did you guys think?
I love it. I love it.
I thought it was such an interesting take and so unique to me in terms of Jokers.
Like, Joker is like Batman to me in that it's such a good character that I just, like, obviously I'm disappointed with Ben Affleck, but I just find the Joker to be so exciting. Like, he just sends chills up my spine. And maybe I'm giving too much credit to the character. Maybe, like, I actually just really liked Jared Leto's rendition. But, I loved it. It was so good.
I've never seen a character influence a universe more.
Very true.
Than the Joker.
Yeah. He's
very true.
He's so iconic, and I was so excited. I was like, he's back. Like, and I love the way they did it at the very end. Like they just saved it as like the cherry on top, and I love the Joker.
Something I love about the Joker. With Batman, there's so many different iterations you can do with him. He's like a rich playboy who's got like a dark side.
Yeah,
we've seen like multiple renditions of Jokers that are all so unique. Like you said, Ben. Just contribute to like how like immortal this character is going to be through time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got
Jack
Nicholson's Clown Joker, Heath Ledger's anarchist clown. This guy looks like a serial rapist.
He looks like someone you'd like run into in an alleyway. And then freak the fuck out.
Right. Like he's so scary.
He reminds me a lot of the Batman Beyond Joker.
Yeah.
I like how lean he is. Like it just makes like his face like and his eyes pop because he just has this like really slim frame that makes him look very like sneaky and quick.
Yeah.
What did you think, Patrick?
I thought he was great, man. A Joker like this hasn't been seen. You'd think you'd seen it all, like I was just saying, explaining other Jokers, but this one looks unhinged, you know? Yeah. Heath Ledger's Joker was great, but he's ultimately like a schemer, and this guy, he looks like he's legitimately crazy.
And he's like, it's a beautiful place to bring the Joker, because they get to frame him against a league of bad guys, to make him seem that much more evil. Like, he's going to overshadow the evil people. So that, that just brings him, to a level... Like, when you have Superman or Batman, of course they're going to look fucking evil, but they're going to make him sinister in the Sinister movie.
Oh my god. Dude, you gave me goosebumps just saying that.
Dude, it's true. It's so exciting.
So cool.
It's fantastic.
In the comic, Joker was not a part of it, was he?
It depends on what you're looking at.
I feel like he has to kind of be due to
But depending on the source material, was he ever a part of Suicide Squad?
No, not a part of it, no.
Are they saying he's part of it, though, in the movie?
He's not.
Yeah. I was just speculating because I've never read the Suicide Squad before. But if there was ever
in the animated movie Assault on Arkham, which people should watch. It's a great movie. He's the villain.
Mm-hmm.
He's the mission that they send Task Force X on, so to speak.
Wow. Oh, I love the Joker.
So
he's so great.
It's gonna be good.
I want to watch Dark Knight again.
It's good.
Ben just absolutely framed that for me. How absolutely crazy must you be?
Yeah.
To have them send a group of
crazy people after you.
Yeah, bad guys.
And Jared Leto is kind of unhinged as a person.
As a person, he's
I mean, he's a wild dude who plays some really wild characters. So like,
Right.
I really like their choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's the 30 Seconds to Mars guy with beautiful hair and beautiful eyes, and they
Yeah.
made him a fucking monster.
yeah. Have you
Which is
seen him in?
amazing.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Dallas Fires?
Yeah,
I have not.
dude, he was. I mean, I think he won the Oscar for that.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think he deserved it. It was really interesting to watch. He's really gifted. Okay, well,
So exciting.
what else did you want to cover on?
Okay, I'll quickly run through the rest of this list.
Don't
DCTV.
Don't do it quickly.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna do this the all in.
Okay.
I don't think we'll have time for
I
other
can do
stuff.
all in. But...
I have some more questions about these things, so yeah.
Okay. So DCTV had quite a splash. I mean, DCTV is huge now, guys. We got Arrow, Flash, Gotham, Supergirl, and I'm surprised they didn't announce anything for Titans, the TNT movie, or Krypton, like the sci-fi television show.
Wait, are we getting a Teen Titans movie?
We're getting a Teen Titans TV show. Excuse me.
TV show. Okay.
On TNT.
What is Teen
Animated
Titans
or
again?
live action?
Teen Titans are the sidekicks of all the characters being on a team. So you've got Robin, Wonder Girl, just like a bunch of the teenager heroes all on a team.
That sounds fun.
But it's very along the lines of like...
Ben, did you never watch the animated
I don't
cartoon?
know.
I did, but
Titans.
I feel like I just don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely watched it. I watched way more Justice League though than Teen Titans.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, Justice League is incredible. But
That's how I developed my really strong Aquaman allegiance.
I mean, Aquaman is badass in Justice League, dude. He,
He's
like,
my
cut his
favorite.
arm off.
He's my favorite superhero,
Shit.
hands down. And they got Khal Drogo to play him. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
I kind of wish we did have a reveal of that as well, but now I can be even more psyched for when they do actually reveal it.
Yeah,
I know.
I can easily say that Suicide Squad and Aquaman, like, as far as premises go, are like so far beyond every Marvel movie that's come out in terms of my personal excitement. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that makes sense because you're attached to the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're right. Like, we grew up with
What
like,
magic?
Justice League, so it makes sense.
Yes. What is the difference between DCTV and DCCU?
DCCU is DC Cinematic Universe, so that's their movies.
Oh, okay.
And we kind of touched lightly on it.
They're gonna make a Flash movie?
Yep.
Is it going to
Wait.
feature the same cast?
It's gonna have Ezra Miller in it. It's not the same as TV Flash, no.
Okay.
You know who it is, Ben, right?
Yeah, I
Ezra
know Ezra
Miller.
Miller. I thought he was supposed to play the TV Flash, but
No.
they so that was always for the movie.
He's gonna be the movie Flash. Yes.
Okay, I really like Ezra Miller, so
Yeah. It's gonna
I'm
be-
excited for that.
They announced a lot of animated features. One of them featuring Batwoman, who is very famous. She's part of like the Bat quote family, but she's kind of always been standoffish. But she's a really cool character. She's gay. She's in the military. I'm really glad they're giving her some love. I've got a comic book on her, and she's just a really great fleshed out character. I'm glad they're giving her more to the mainstream because she definitely deserves it.
Could you give us a little bit of a background on Batwoman? Did this start
Yeah.
out as a Batgirl
Is
turned
this
into
Barbara?
Batwoman kind of thing?
No. This is like she's a totally different person. She was discharged from the military for don't ask, don't tell.
Really?
And she got
Wow.
so,
That's heavy hitting.
she's got some beef with a lot of people, and she kind of just stole the Bat costume because she was in Gotham. So she just like dressed up as a bat and like started beating up people and stuff. And like Bruce comes up and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And she's
Now
like,
you
"I'm
say
gonna do
she
what I want."
stole it. Do you mean she actually took a costume from Bruce?
She did not. She didn't take the costume. She just like stole like
The idea.
the identity. Like she's a bat and she's a woman. And
That's awesome.
Bruce, they don't like. She's not really connected to Batman, and she like makes it a point. She's like, "I'm gonna keep doing this, and I guess you can like try to stop me." But and
She
Bruce
stays
is
in
like,
Gotham?
"Yeah." She's like, "All right, as long as you don't stir up shit, all right, you're cool." They have a cool like in a relationship.
How many animated movies does DC put out a year?
one or two.
One or two.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all like
Very good.
Yeah, I mean I know they're
So,
well received. They're like kind of for adults though, right?
catered
Yeah.
towards.
Catered towards. Like I'm wondering why they don't try to do like movie theater animated features.
Production
That's a good
value,
question.
focus.
Where would you buy these if you wanted to?
Straight to DVD or VODs.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just like even though I don't read comics and like I don't know why, like I really want to get an iPad because I think that's how I'd read on it. I truly kind of, and it's the same reason I need to fucking watch an anime because I think that like these ideas are things that people take risks on because it's cheaper. Like just from everything that like my perception of why comics are kind of exploding, my perception of how such weird ideas come about. Like the concept of superheroes is like inherently awkward for live action, and it's only through like the backing of a following could it not come off as cheesy and it could come off as believable. I just feel like animated features are just something I need to explore more because it's just a cool story that you just framed.
There's a
for
lot of
Batwoman.
good stories.
Yeah.
She's a great character. She's an important character. Probably, I mean, not that, I mean, do you know any other gay superheroes in any shape or form?
Ezra Miller.
No, I guess I mean like characters.
No, I'm just
but
kidding.
Is he actually gay?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Oh shit, I should look that up. I'm pretty sure.
There's got to be like
Trouble.
at least one or two. There's no way
There-
they
there
haven't
are-
broken that boundary before.
There are a lot, but Batwoman is probably one of the more famous.
I just feel like
It's
I
not
kind of stopped
famous.
watching movies because okay, he is gay. But
Just to qualify that.
yeah, and he's awesome. But I feel like I've stopped watching as many movies because like I watched so many movies in my childhood. Like my dad was a huge movie buff. I've just seen like hundreds and hundreds of movies. I started to watch movies and know where they were going. That's kind of why like in college I would really only watch obscure like indie movies because I just got so bored with them. I just
Right.
feel like I need to be taking advantage of some of this comic stuff because it is so different.
There's a wealth of things to catch up on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stories out there. It's just good stories, really. I mean, the medium is the medium, but at its heart, the stories and the writing is, I don't know, it's good stuff.
So why should everyone is excited about Deadpool and I didn't do my research. Why is Deadpool the one that everyone's so excited about?
The character itself blew up.
What is Deadpool?
He's a mutant.
Like X-Men.
Is he
Yeah.
actually from X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his ability?
He actually has a lot of abilities pooled into one. I
It's
mean,
like
he's got the
regeneration. He's
super
just like-
regeneration. Actually, it's not even like regeneration. It's close to immortality.
Yeah.
I mean, you could cut off the man's head and he'd still be alive.
And this is the first rated R superhero movie, right? Or at least the first big one.
I'd say so. Mainstream, yes.
Yeah, mainstream. What
It's
was
just
the
a lot of people
example you
like the
thought of?
character.
Did you think of another
he's-
example, Patrick?
Of what?
Of a
Oh,
non-mainstream?
no.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I thought of like Super and Kick-Ass. if you've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
those.
Well, Kick-Ass
Is
was
there-
PG-13, right?
Is rated R, dude.
The second one or both of them?
I think both of them are rated R.
Oh, okay.
Definitely a lot of blood, a lot of fucks, and a lot of C words.
What's the C
Gotta
word?
be R. I don't want to say it.
What?
I don't want to say it. Don't make me say it.
Okay,
I don't
we won't
care.
say it. We're a family podcast.
We are a family.
we don't tout that trash.
Watch Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. You'll catch enough C words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Only the scenes
shame.
with the Hound.
Star Wars, was that at Comic-Con?
Star Wars was at Comic-Con. I didn't. I mean, some people thought they had a great showing. I watched a trailer with some like behind-the-scenes footage, and that was cool. But in terms of like a big trailer or anything else, I didn't think they had too much to show.
Interesting.
But they were there. Once again, I think they're saving the big stuff for Disney Expo 23.
Yeah. Man,
Same.
that's...
Wait, no, not. What did we think? Marvel.
Marvel
was-
Studios.
Oh, yeah. Did anything else come out of DC that we would be aware of? Or Comic-Con, I mean?
Uh, Not that I'm super
Privy to.
privy to.
I know
I'm
in.
super jelly because I got a friend that's there like right now.
Oh wow. I know, like in recent years, they've kind of distanced themselves. Like games aren't really aren't really a presence at all there anymore.
Were they ever? I never really thought of games as a huge Comic Con thing.
I guess I think DC used to have a larger presence, or Warner Bros. I mean, like they used to do a lot of like Mortal Kombat, Batman games, like Lord of the Rings. I think DC would, or God, I keep calling them DC. Does Warner Bros. Own DC?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Warner Bros. Used to bring a lot of their published games, but now it's just E3 is just too big a platform.
Yeah.
But anywho,
I got one more thing I want to quickly plug.
plug it.
I mean the Eisner Awards, which is a big comic award ceremony, got doled out around that time, and Saga was one of the big take homes. I've plugged Saga before, and I will plug it again. It is one of the best comic books out there on the shelves right now. It's by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples.
What's the premise?
Check it out, man. Premise is like a space Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
You got these two people on opposite sides of a war who fell in love and made a baby, and they're running away from space bounty hunters. But it's so much more than that. The writing is great.
Premise is that?
That's the basic premise, and that's like, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like the very first panel is like this woman giving birth, and I don't know, it's great. The narrative is great. Like the narrative is in the perspective of the child, as if she was like in the future. She's like, so this is how my parents met. This is the first time my parents fucked. You know, stuff like that. Like
Who publishes
just like
it?
Image is totally your publisher.
Yeah.
It's the Sex Criminals
Yeah,
publisher.
yeah. I loved Sex
So
Criminals. I'm
they
gonna get
always
the second one.
take those risks with these weird stories. So they
That's what
won
you gotta
big.
do.
I gotta plug it because it's great. Definitely one of my favorite comics out there now.
I remember looking up, like, because the Game Over Greggy podcast was talking a lot about how, like, most of the people that go to Comic-Con don't even read comics, and how, like he thinks the bottom's going to fall out on comic book movies because they're putting out too many of them, and the amount of people that actually care about comics is not as big as, it's not going to be able to sustain that kind of, like, ecosystem.
Right.
And I looked up comic book sales. It's not, like, insignificant. It was way more than I thought. Like, monthly.
I mean, I don't think they're that.
Like,
big,
what do
but
you
gotta
think?
Tell me these numbers.
What do you think in June of 2015? The best-selling. How many sales the best-selling comic had? So it was okay. It was Secret Wars by Marvel.
Okay.
The second one was Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows.
Haven't heard of that one.
So it's a
3 million.
What'd you say?
3 million.
So 1 out of every 100 people.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. 300 million in the States.
Okay. What's your guess, Christian?
Oof. Dude, I don't even know where to begin on guessing that.
It's a month, right? How many people read it in a month?
Yeah.
Or-
How many issues were sold in a month?
How many issues were sold?
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Actually, I thought you were saying like 300.
Oh, you mean?
That's
Oh,
what I
I was
was-
saying. Oh wait, what did you think I was saying?
Like how many people like read comic books that month?
Oh no, this is just for us, like the best-selling
A single
issue.
comic, the number one comic. How many do you think sold?
Yeah, June of 2015.
10 million. 10 million.
Wait, why do you think it would be more than all of the comics put together?
I'm so confused now.
So
He
we're,
said 300 million. He assumed the people.
No. You know what, Ben? This isn't working for me. I'm getting confused and I'm tired.
Just put a number
I
out.
give up.
so there's like, I don't know. There's hundreds of comics listed. Like number 1 is Secret Wars, 2 is Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows, then Star Wars, Justice League of America, Batman, Thor's, Darth Vader. So the number 1 is Secret Wars at $3.99. Issue number 3 is 218,000, which is, it seemed like a lot to me. Because those issues come out, like you said, like every week.
218,000
Yeah. I mean, there are new
copies
issues
sold,
every
right?
week.
Yeah, so But then like number 2 is 200,000. So like if you combine all the sales of all of them, I think we're gonna be closer to your number, Patrick.
Yeah, or the original number.
Well, I mean, how much is an issue usually, right?
$3.99.
$2.99, $3.99.
So
Marvel's
you multiply that by
Yeah, this is Marvel.
4.
No, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I didn't like to me 1 out of 100 seems like too much.
Could be.
Just because I think that maybe that's ignorant of me because I think your mic's doing it again, Patrick.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's usually after an hour.
Yeah, it's not being cooperative this time. I guess I just thought that like the people that are buying the most comics are like in a certain demographic, like ages like 10 to like
17.
I don't know 40 or something.
Yeah, it's got to be older
Okay,
because you've
I
got
see
a
what you're
huge
People-
comic crowd that grew up on comics now.
Yeah, people stick with it. But yeah, so I guess when I think about it in terms of that, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I think that's interesting. But I think that's gonna do it. Do you guys have any closing Comic-Con comments?
I'm gonna go watch the trailer when this is done.
Excellent.
I'm just kidding.
It was good. I mean, I was excited to see the trailers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this very DC Comic-Con episode of The Q. I'm going to have to think of a clever DC quip to be the title. It's probably my favorite part of editing this podcast, just thinking of the title. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Check out new episodes weekly every Monday. I am saying this Monday evening at 9:38, so this is going to be the first streak broken because I don't want to. Well, maybe I'll get it out. Anyway, we would love your feedback and opinions wherever we can get them. Please drop us a review on iTunes. It would really help us out. We are on YouTube. Check us out at the Fig TV and freeBrunch. At Fig_TV, at CMC Monkey, 2 eyes.
Almost had it, dude.
I didn't almost have it. I wasn't even close. Thanks for help anyway. And at freeBrunch on Twitter. Take care, everyone.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Go watch the trailers again. Do it.
Again.
Do it.